Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all of you whenever you're watching this class. I welcome you all to the daily newspaper analysis session at Tathastu ICS brought by me, Ruchi Singh. There is a very important article on page 1, front page, about an incident which has been which has happened, and that is about killing of Maoism, and this is called as the biggest operation so far in that particular area. So with that article, with that help of that article, we will be knowing the meaning of Maoism, Naxalism, difference between Maoism and Naxalism. What I want to remind you is that while you are reading GS paper 3 security part, do read the difference between extremism, left-wing extremism, and radicalism or radicalization, etc. All these are also terrorism. So you should know various meaning of these terms and difference between these terms. Okay, so today that we will take up is Maoism, Naxalism, and difference between two. And also, as we always do, we will look at some of the previous year question paper and some of the practice questions I'll be showing with the help of this article. We'll be reading about this topic, and the next topic is about currency depreciation and imported inflation. We'll understand about the meaning of imported inflation, currency depreciation, and how these articles are important for you with point of view of your prelims as well as mains. I'll be showing some of the previous year question paper as well, so that you can understand the relevance. So let's take up the first article, and that is article 1, that is about security that I said. So this article, very first paragraph, read this. So at least 29 Maoists were killed in an operation by security forces at Kanker district in Chhattisgarh. Alright, and next important point which you have to look at is what I told already. It is the biggest encounter ever in Chhattisgarh. So this is the news. Now, because there is an important term and that is important for you for exams perspective, that is, so you can see Maoist, and so this is important for us to know the meaning of Maoism, Naxalism, alright, left-wing extremism, all these things we look, and also the difference between these three terms. So the first, yes, what is Maoism? So look at here. Maoism is a form of communism developed by Mao Zedong. So it's a form of communism developed by Mao Zedong. It is a doctrine to capture state power through a combination of armed insurgency, mass mobilization, and strategic alliances. So what is the significance? It is an armed insurgency, mass mobilization, strategic alliances. The Maoists also use propaganda and disinformation against state. So propaganda and disinformation is also used by them against the state. And then further, Mao called this process the protracted people war, where emphasis is on military line. Okay, so to capture power. And then who are the Indian Maoists? That is also you should know. So the largest and the most violent Maoist formation in India is the Communist Party of India, that is Maoist. The CPI is an amalgamation of many splinter groups which culminated in the merger of two largest Maoist groups in 2004, the Communist Party of India, Marxist-Leninist, People's War, and the Maoist Communist Center of India. The CPI Maoist is, and all its front organizations formations have been included in the list of banned terrorist organizations under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. So these are banned outfits. Okay? The next point that you need to look at is which are the states considered to be left-wing affected areas. तो ये point important है, देखो आप. You can understand this through link, a map of India's Maoist conflict. So the red ones are highly affected areas. You can see these are the highly affected areas. Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, all right. And then moderately affected areas are highlighted by yellow ones, Telangana, Orissa, and then you can see some parts of the Bihar, all right. And then marginally affected areas are highlighted by green, Maharashtra, some parts of the Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, etc. All right. So, and also some parts of the Andhra Pradesh, etc. So, these are the areas which are Maoist affected areas in terms of gravity. Okay. So, you can keep this in your mind and you can draw a map, and you can also use such information in your answers and to make your answer visually appealing. Next is, you have to know also the meaning of Naxalism. So, what is Naxalism? It is a term used to define violent activities on behalf of landless laborers and tribal people against landlords and others by some individuals and groups. The Naxalite movement came to forefront in India in late 1960s when Naxalbari, so Naxalbari कौन से एरिया में है? West Bengal में है. So when Naxalbari became famous for the left-wing revolt that took place in West Bengal. Since then, it is perceived as the greatest threat to law and order within India. The movement has now advanced to the hilly and forest regions of around 8 different states. Next, in spite of Naxalism being termed as the biggest problem in Adivasi areas, the social problems are actually much wider in the form of unemployment, poverty, and untold number of socio-economic injustices. So, these are the reasons because of which some of the intelligentsia, some of the people say that these are the reasons which give rise to Naxalism and Maoism activities. So, next point that you need to understand is the difference between the terms. तो डिफरेंस क्या है माओइस्ट स्ट्रगल और नक्सलिज्म में? both trace their origin to Naxalbari uprising of 1967, but while Naxalite movement thrives on the original spirit of Naxalbari, the Maoist struggle is an outcome of the 1967 uprisings. Maoists work with agenda and use weapons to achieve their arms, while Naxalism focuses on mass organizations, while the Maoism relies mainly on the arms. So ये major difference आपको याद रखने की जरूरत है कि Naxalism में mass organization पे believe किया जाता है, while Maoism जो है that is based on mainly on arms and armed conflict. ठीक है, ये important point है. In other words, there are two fundamental difference between Naxalism and Maoism. While the Naxalites take part in elections, ये भी point बहुत important है. Naxalites जो है they take part in elections and many of them are registered parties with the Election Commission of India. Maoism do not support the elections at all. So these 2 points you at least you can take into your memory and you have to cram it. Some of the points you have to cram that are important. So this is the difference between what is the meaning of Maoism, Naxalism, and difference between Maoism and Naxalism. You can see the questions. So, first question, what do you understand by left-wing extremism? Elucidate the major factors behind the occurrence of left-wing extremism and the governmental actions to root out the menace. Second question, what is Naxalism? Discuss various reasons of Naxalism and government efforts to root out Naxalism from the country. Almost same question है. यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विसेज का क्वेश्चन देखो पूछा है जिस तरीके से, वो देखते हैं, इससे आपको इंपॉर्टेंस पता चलेगा आर्टिकल का. लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म इज showing a downward trend but still affects many parts of the country. This is a context जो कि अक्सर यूपीएससी क्वेश्चंस में देता है. This is the context. Then briefly explain the government of India's approach to counter the challenges posed by left-wing extremism. So this question is about left-wing extremism. 150 words, 10 marks. यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विसेज में 2018 में पूछा गया है. So this kind of questions are important, significant topic है ना, तो आपको पढ़ना जरूरी है. Now I'll give you a practice question that you have to attempt by reading the content that we discussed and the article, and that is discuss the recent encounter between security forces and Maoists in Chhattisgarh, highlights its implication for India's internal security. Evaluate the role of government policies and development initiatives in addressing left-wing extremism in conflict-affected regions. तो इसका आंसर कैसे लिखना है? 250 वर्ड्स का है. जैसे मैं हमेशा बताती हूँ कि 250 वर्ड्स अगर क्वेश्चन है तो आपका इंट्रोडक्शन इज वन पार्ट, देन इज बॉडी एंड देन इज कंक्लूजन. इंट्रोडक्शन 250 वर्ड्स में ऑलमोस्ट 50 to 60 वर्ड्स का कंक्लूजन, अगेन कंक्लूजन ऑल्सो 50 to 60 वर्ड्स है ना. एंड जो बॉडी है दैट विल ऑल्सो इंक्लूड द मेन पॉइंट्स along with way forward भी आपको इस आंसर में लिखना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। इंट्रोडक्शन में आप क्या लिख दो, द रीसेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट, जो हमने न्यूज़ पढ़ा उसको लिख देंगे, दैट दिस काइंड ऑफ इंसिडेंट हैपन, एंड देन यू हैव टू राइट आउट इम्प्लीकेशंस। तो इम्प्लीकेशन, सिक्योरिटी इम्प्लीकेशंस क्या हो सकते हैं, यहाँ पे आप इम्प्लीकेशंस लिखोगे लेफ्ट विंग एक्सट्रीमिज्म का, एंड देन इवेलुएट, लाइक इवेलुएशन में क्या लिखना है, गवर्नमेंट जो इनिशिएटिव्स ऑलरेडी लिए जा चुके हैं वो, और ऑल्सो व्हाट आर फर्दर प्लान्स, व्हाट आर फर्दर प्लान्स। वे फॉरवर्ड में आपको सजेशंस कुछ देना है, एंड देन कंक्लूड। सो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू राइट दिस क्वेश्चन, ठीक है। सो दिस इज फॉर योर practice that you can do, and let's move to the second article, and that is about navigating life as a consumer with disability, ठीक है। तो this article becomes important for you with respect to persons with disabilities and their consumer राइट्स, ठीक है, PWD their consumer rights। तो अभी हम इसमें जानेंगे कि व्हाट आर द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजंस रिगार्डिंग पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज, एंड व्हाट आर द कंसर्न्स विद रिस्पेक्ट टू पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटीज, एंड व्हाट शुड बी देयर राइट्स। तो ये प्रीलिम्स के लिए नेशनल इम्पोर्टेंस है, क्योंकि इम्पोर्टेंट डिफरेंट सोशल सर्विसेज स्कीम्स, अबला, सबला, ऑल इंडिया वुमेन्स कॉन्फ्रेंस, NFHS, राइट्स ऑफ पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटीज एक्ट 2016, Digital India Census 2011, all these have been mentioned in this article. And for GS paper 2 and 3, social empowerment, development and management of social sectors services. So this becomes important for us with this part of the syllabus. Now let's look at the article. So read the first line. Every year March 15 is celebrated as World Consumer Day to create awareness about the rights of consumers. राइट्स ऑफ कंज्यूमर के बारे में, ये तो जनरल है कि पूरे पब्लिक के लिए राइट्स की बात करेंगे। विद दिस द राइटर्स हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट पर्सन्स विद डिसेबिलिटी, ठीक है। तो हम फोकस में पर्सन्स विद डिसेबल्ड पीपल को लेंगे। पहले we should understand the meaning of disability. It is an umbrella term. It is an umbrella term covering impairments, activity limitations, and participation restrictions. An impairment is a problem in body function or structure. An activity limitation is a difficulty encountered by an individual in executing a task or action. Participation का भी meaning बताया गया. Restriction is a problem experienced by an individual in involvement in life situations. So you have to understand the meaning of disability and the main terms. Disability is an umbrella term which encompasses all these three main terms, and here is the meaning of these terms. And then constitutional framework for disabled in India कौन कौन से है? Article 41 of Directive Principles of State Policy, और ये important article है, आपको ये facts रटे होने चाहिए, पता होने चाहिए। So DPSP states that state shall make effective provisions for securing right to work, to education and to public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, sickness and disablement within the limits of economic capacity and development. So article 41 में disable जो population है उनके rights की बात की गई है। Then the subject of relief of the disabled and unemployable is specified in the state list of 7th schedule. 7th schedule जो state list है, 7th schedule, जो 7th शेड्यूल का स्टेट लिस्ट है उसमें अनएम्प्लॉयबल और डिसेबल लोगों के बारे में बात की गई है, ठीक है। द नेक्स्ट मेजर चैलेंजेस फॉर कंज्यूमर्स विद डिसेबिलिटीज क्या क्या है? देयर इज इनएक्सेसिबिलिटी ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, द इनएक्सेसिबिलिटी ऑफ consumer support options are there. Businesses, they do not target them, they generally don't perceive person with disabilities as probable consumers or profitable consumers, so they don't make provisions which can facilitate these kind of consumers, evidenced by their inaccessible offerings which are typically designed for mainstream consumers. In India, persons with disabilities account for 5 to 8% of population. वर्ल्ड बैंक 2009 की रिपोर्ट है, तो 5 to 8-9% ऑफ जो इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन है उन पे ध्यान ही नहीं दिया गया है, बिकॉज दे आर कंसिडर्ड काइंड ऑफ कंज्यूमर हु आर नॉट प्रॉफिटेबल मच. Businesses could consider making their offerings accessible just to broaden their consumer reach. मतलब इतना population है 5 to 6% person with disabilities का out of all. So if businesses could target this group as well, so person with disability will also get benefited, and also businesses which are providing services and goods to these sections of the people. तो win-win situation है, तो why not businesses should focus. इसीलिए बोला जाता है कि जो solution आना चाहिए 3 लेवल्स पे आना चाहिए: बिजनेस, गवर्नमेंट एफर्ट्स एंड सिविल सोसाइटी एंड एनजीओस. Civil society and NGOs, they should come forward to bring certain provisions, certain facilitative provisions for person with disabilities, जो कि इस आर्टिकल में भी बात किया है राइटर्स ने. So what steps need to be taken for accessibility of disabled people? The gap in sensitization among businesses can be abridged through effective policy measures. For example, FSSI, जो इफेक्टिव पॉलिसी मेजर्स होने चाहिए, जैसे एग्जांपल दिया है FSSI का, which in October 2023 issued an advisory to all of food businesses operators for incorporating QR codes containing product information on all food products. It will allow people with visual impairments to ascertain crucial product information on their own. So ये एक सक्सेसफुल एग्जांपल है. इसी तरीके से और स्टेप्स भी लेने चाहिए गवर्नमेंट को. India can build on lessons from the initiatives in countries such as Australia, US, Canada, and integrate similar strategies into its policies. Persons with disabilities are empowered by laws that safeguard their rights and interests as consumers. तो बट ये सब हैं तो लॉज उनके राइट्स के लिए, लेकिन इसका एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं है. एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं है लॉज में. एग्जीक्यूशन इज लैकिंग. पॉलिटिकल विल इज लैकिंग. Political will is lacking. So these things has to be taken into consideration while talking about the rights of person with disabilities. And then look at this practice question, the right of person with disabilities. और ये UPSC 2022 में पूछा जा चुका है 200 words में 10 marks का. The right of person with disabilities Act 2016 remains only a legal document without intense sensitization of government functionaries and citizens regarding disability. Comment. अब हम देखते हैं आर्टिकल जो कि न्यूज़पेपर में आपके आया हुआ है. लार्जली हमने वैसे कवर कर लिया है. ये वाला लाइन पढ़िए, लीगल रिफॉर्म्स. पर्सन विद डिसेबिलिटीज आर ऑल्सो empowered by laws that safeguard their rights and interests as consumers. The primary legislation in this regard is the Right of Person with Disabilities Act RPWDA 2016, which grants a bouquet of rights and including the right to equality, accessibility and reasonable accommodation. In particular, the Act includes provisions of universally designed consumer goods and accessible services, Section 43 and 46. The rules notified under RPWDA also require all the information and communications technology, goods and services to be accessible in accordance with the BI standards laid down by the government. So in case of a violation of these rights, a consumer with disability can file a complaint with the disability commissions established under the act. अब एक सक्सेसफुल एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पे नोट डाउन कर सकते हैं आप. फॉलोइंग अ कंप्लेन बाय वन ऑफ अस, राहुल, द वेल नोन हेल्थ केयर सर्विस प्रोवाइडर, Practo was directed to make its website and application accessible. Similarly, एक दूसरा एग्जाम्पल है बहुत अच्छा. Complaints regarding accessibility barriers in services such as banking, insurance and hospitality have been filed. तो एक और केस ऐसा जहाँ पे सिनेमा हॉल में एक पर्सन भी डिसेबल जाता है जिसको रिक्वायर्ड फैसिलिटीज नहीं मिलती हैं, and he filed a case against that person that the cinema hall, and it had to give almost I think 1 lakh penalty which was directed to be given to that person by the cinema hall. So these are some of the examples already there. And yes, we already have seen, and you can read the entire article. That is the main points we already discussed. Let's look at the third article, and that is about imported inflation, how import cost can increase the prices of goods and services. So imported inflation क्या है, और further we'll understand the depreciation of currency or currency depreciation. Let's look at the article with detailed understanding with the help of some of the previous year question paper and relevance to the topic. So why this article is important for us? Indian economy, GS paper 3. Effects of liberalization on the economy. Understanding imported inflation is vital for economic policy formulation and managing inflationary pressure. Relevant for UPSC aspirants for mains paper as well as prelims paper. Currency depreciation often leads to imported inflation. तो जो मेन पॉइंट है imported inflation का, बोल रहा है कि जो currency depreciation है उससे imported inflation आता है. कैसे आता है? Because as it diminishes the value of the currencies, country's currency, this depreciation requires using more local currency to purchase the same amount of foreign goods and services. This causes imported inflation. मतलब क्या हुआ, क्या कहने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं ये समझते हैं. कह रहा है कि जो imported inflation है, करेंसी अगर डेप्रिसिएशन होता है, करेंसी डेप्रिसिएशन होता है तो उससे क्या होता है कि मान लो एक ब्रेड खरीदने गए, ठीक है, पहले $1 60 रुपीज में था, अब $1 70 रुपीज का हो गया. ठीक है. और पहले जब है एक ब्रेड का पैकेट था, पहले आप 60 रुपीज में खरीद लेते थे, लेट्स से अमेरिका में $1.60 के बराबर था. अब अमेरिका में आप इंडियन रूपी लेकर के ब्रेड खरीदने गए, आपने एक पैकेट का ब्रेड जो है, एक पैकेट ब्रेड का 60 रुपीज में खरीद लिया, लेकिन अब करेंसी डेप्रिसिएशन हो गई तो सेम जो ब्रेड का पैकेट है आपको 70 रुपीज में पड़ा, क्योंकि अब $1 जो है 70 रुपीज में है, जिसको करेंसी डेप्रिसिएशन बोलते हैं, है ना. और जो करेंसी डेप्रिसिएशन है उसकी वजह से इंपोर्टेड इन्फ्लेशन आता है. इंपोर्ट करते हैं इन्फ्लेशन को हम बाहर से. अब ये समझते हैं कि कैसे, दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. सो व्हाट इज इंपोर्टेड डेप्रिसिएशन? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दैट मीनिंग. यस, when the general price level rises in a country because of the rise in the prices of imported commodities, inflation is termed as imported. मतलब जब general price level country में बढ़ जाता है, क्यों, किसकी वजह से? जो imported जो commodities हैं, मान लो शू है, मान लो शूज़ है, आप कोई कंपनी का शूज़ हम इंपोर्ट कर रहे हैं और उसकी प्राइस बढ़ गई तो उसको और हम वहाँ अपनी कंट्री में अपनी करेंसी से खरीद रहे हैं तो उसको इंपोर्टेड इन्फ्लेशन बोलते हैं. The two contributors to India's imports are crude oil and gold. Rise in prices of these two products lead to rise in the import bill of the country. So this is meaning of the imported inflation. So depreciation of currency क्या है? Depreciation of a currency refers to a decrease in the value of that country's currency with respect to one or more foreign reference currencies. जो कि हमने meaning पहले ही समझ लिया कि depreciation of currency क्या होता है. ये मेनली जो है ऐसी कंट्रीज में होता है जहाँ पे फ्लोटिंग एक्सचेंज रेट सिस्टम हो. फिक्स एक्सचेंज रेट नहीं, फ्लोटिंग एक्सचेंज रेट. मतलब बिकॉज ऑफ द मार्केट डिमांड एंड सप्लाई, जो ये फोर्सेस होते हैं मार्केट के, इनको मार्केट फोर्सेस बोलते हैं. डिमांड एंड सप्लाई को मार्केट फोर्सेस पे छोड़ दिया जाता है कि करेंसी की वैल्यू कैसे घट या बढ़ेगी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस फ्लक्चुएशन इन दीज मार्केट फोर्सेस. तो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज फ्लोटिंग एक्सचेंज रेट सिस्टम. और फिक्स एक्सचेंज रेट सिस्टम में गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेट करती है, फिक्स रहता है, गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेशन होता है. बट अभी ना ही कोई भी कंट्री ना ही कंप्लीटली फ्लोटिंग एक्सचेंज रेट पे है, ना ही कंप्लीटली फिक्स एक्सचेंज रेट पे है. इन अ फ्लोटिंग एक्सचेंज रेट सिस्टम मार्केट फोर्सेज, जैसे मैंने बता दिया पहले ही, एग्जाम्पल भी हमने सेम डिस्कस कर लिया है, वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस द एग्जाम्पल. फिक्स एक्सचेंज रेट क्या है? फिक्स एक्सचेंज रेट दिस ऑकर्स व्हेन द गवर्नमेंट सीक्स टू कीप द वैल्यू ऑफ अ करेंसी फिक्स अगेंस्ट अनदर करेंसी. सेमी फिक्स करेंसी रेट क्या है? This occurs when the government seeks to keep the value of currency between a band of exchange rate. In other words, the exchange rate can fluctuate within a narrow band. Fix कर दिया जाता है कि इसके बीच currency fluctuate कर सकती है. All right. So this is semi-fixed exchange rate. There are few of the previous year question paper you can look at and you can understand the relevance. So this is about WPI and then RBI, how inflation is impacted. You can see the question. एक्सपेंशनिस्ट मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी क्या होता है? ये तो अभी कंप्लीटली इस आर्टिकल के पर्व्यू में नहीं है जो क्वेश्चन हमने दिखा है, बट दिस वाज रिलेटेड टू इन्फ्लेशन, दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव इंक्लूडेड दिस प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस. यू कैन सी एंड यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड द रेलेवेंस ऑफ द टॉपिक. प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. डिस्कस द कॉजेज एंड इम्प्लीकेशन ऑफ इम्पोर्टेड इन्फ्लेशन. for the economy. ठीक है, causes and implication. Considering factors such as currency depreciation and rising import cost. 250 words, 10 marker. So don't you think we can attempt this question with the discussion we already had and the handout provided? You can read the content and please try to solve this question, attempt this question. You can comment in the video link below, and I can see, I will also evaluate your question answers. If you have provided in the comment box, I will provide my feedback also. If you take an pain of writing the questions, okay, so do try. क्वेश्चंस आप प्रैक्टिस किया करो, पूरे आर्टिकल पे बेस्ड हैं, आपकी प्रैक्टिस होती रहेगी साथ साथ में. और रीडिंग विदाउट प्रैक्टिस इज लाइक ईटिंग विदाउट डाइजेस्टिंग. खाना खा लो और डाइजेस्ट नहीं हुआ तो क्या फ़ायदा. इसलिए पढ़ो और प्रैक्टिस करो. जैसे कि खाते हो, डाइजेशन करते हो, ऐसे पढ़ो और प्रैक्टिस करो. दिस इज ऑल सिमिलर. सो यस, विद दिस आई फिनिश today's daily newspaper analysis discussion. I will see you tomorrow. Till then, all the best. Tadhastu bachcho.